Guys, we are back again with another Vibrations, your one only Mystelics reaction channel, guys. I actually had to present this video yesterday. Of course, the previous video actually took up most of what I had to say in this regard. So we definitely gotta be reacting to this here video of some situation that took place between some local individuals and the police, for which some of them ended up getting arrested, which was kind of nonsensical. I didn't hear the full thing, but I'm gonna hear we're gonna listen to the full thing right there in this regard. That's why you have to sometimes call, guys. What urgent, help me, Father, so that you don't make the wicked people them take full control of we. Brothers and sisters, sometimes you have to wonder what exactly is going on, especially people who are supposed to be protecting the people. It's very interesting that they're not protecting the people. They say but they say they are protecting the people by doing them harm. I don't get it. That's kind of crazy though. But guys, let's see what the situation is. But before we get into that, guys, round of applause goes out to each and every one of you guys who tuned into yet another Mystelics reaction video in this record. Let's get it, guys.
Hassan.
By the way, this was of course on Matt Q95. If you want to go get that full video, you can check out Q95 website and hopefully get that video right there. This was actually sent to me by a number of people, so we are reacting to it. Hassan Robinson is himself QFM news reporter. Okay.
Robinson was there live. Good morning to you, Hassan. What is I'm getting reports out of the Newtown area that two young men from the Mystelics group were arrested last night, and I was told that you might have been in the area. What can you report?
Well, first, good morning to you and the many listeners. Last night, I was supposed to meet up with Maggie Peters.
That was about 2 days ago, I believe, 2 or 3 days ago.
And as well as Kashmir Buju Richards and Pyro.
Big up Maggie, big up Buju, big up Pyro, big up all this everybody doing all the thing out and large, trying to make the awareness of what is going on with the economy and of course the governance of that economy. You guys are definitely trying to make known what is going on, especially behind closed doors, and seeing how it affects the people. Realizing the people are depleting in society, yet still our leaders are saying, hey, people are doing great, even though they give them still harm. Let's continue.
And we were supposed to discuss, you know, consciousness and positive vibrations.
Big up that vibe.
And the importance of raising one's consciousness.
Definitely.
And, we need more positive energy in our society right now.
I agree. But guys, keep in mind, we need more positivity to balance things out. I know a number of people, especially on WhatsApp, does be saying, no more negativity for 2022. But guys, you need negativism. You need it to balance out everything. If you have a set of positivity in the case, you'll have a Teletubby society. Lalapon. Nonsense. Rebuke Teletubby in them. Never the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Be rebuke Satan. Anyways, I get a bit carried away, guys. But yeah, we need the balance. It's balancing out the points right there. Negative and positive. You need both when it comes down to understanding society.
Consciousness needs to be elevated.
Definitely, consciousness needs to be elevated. And like I said before in the previous video, guys, understanding is key. You need to understand how things work. Brothers and sisters, let's continue.
So I went to meet Maggie that night, and then we gathered at Pyro's house.
Okay.
And we collected our stuff, the tripod, the cameras, and everything to proceed to, you know, do that program. About 5 minutes whilst we were at Pyro's residence, we saw 2 busloads of SSU officers or police officers or guys in fatigue kind of descended by the fisheries complex area.
For what reason? Was there drugs involved? What was going on? What reason are you dressing SSU vibes? What? Hopefully we find out in this video.
No, as you know, that area is usually, you know, a bit because of traffic around that time, around minutes to 7, person stopping to buy bread.
A little packed.
You know, look packed. So we heard some discussions and stuff going on. So Mr. Richards as well as Pyro, they went to inquire as to what was the reason for the police officers to be in that area during that public space.
Now guys, as I'm listening to this, and some questions come to mind, a number of questions come to mind. So the police came forth to do whatever they came to do. The question I want to ask is, did they have the right to go and confront the police officers as to what exactly are they doing there? The police officers come to do their job, whatever job that is. Do they have the right to confront the police officers to ask them, hey, what are you guys doing there? What's going on? On the other hand, do the police officers then are obligated to answer them because it's the citizens who are pretty much paying them for them to protect the citizens? The citizens are giving them money to protect us, themselves. via taxation and so forth and so forth. So are they obligated to then give the police, or are the police officers obligated to give the citizens who pretty much are wondering or questioning what exactly is going on here, right? I think that is a normal thing. I don't think that's too far. If there's some sort of situation happening and you see police officers, you want to know what is taking place, so you know if you got to protect yourself. If there are gunmen out there and you need to protect yourself and whatnot, you ask the police officers what is going on. So you can possibly help the police officers if they're looking for something. I think that is reasonable. So just two questions: should the police do they have the right to go and confront the police officers to do whatever the job they're doing, or do the police officers are obligated to answer them in this regard? What are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. I'll leave my own reservations for this one right there.
I remained on the porch on the veranda of Mr. Pyro's residence. I'm just organizing my notes, organizing my stuff, and then I heard the argument getting louder and louder. It was becoming to the point where I could hear Buju's voice like that. In public space, what's going on? Why you this and that?
So my thought process in understanding how the police works, most likely the police officers felt like, who are you guys to come and ask us questions? So they felt like they're not obligated to answer them. But isn't the police officers obligated to answer the people though? To answer the people what exactly is going on? But most likely in my understanding of how they operate, this is why I tell you, understand how things work and understand how people in different sectors work. Most likely they think you just say, who are you to come and ask us what is going on? Who are you? But we are the citizens, you have a right. Anyways, let's continue.
You know, and he had his camera recording at the time, so internet.
You do have a right to record. This is a public sphere. It's a public sphere, you can record.
I took my tripod. I had my camera trying to record at the time. As soon as I reached in the area, I saw about 4 police officers in the face of Mr. Buju, 5 officers in the bridge, you know, by the primary school, 5 officers surrounded, suffocating Mr.
Suffocating? No, you have to sue the police. Suffocating? What? Sue the police. No, guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that all police officers are terrible. There are just a handful of these idiots that are doing a set of foolishness in the place. And do they train these guys? Do they constantly train them? Because some of them might seem to forget their training. If they are doing proper training, they seem to have forgotten their proper training. So shouldn't they be going and do constant training to remind them how to do things properly? Because the police is supposed to de-escalate the situation, not escalate it. Or you have a man suffocate.
Pyro, he had his mask on to the point where it's by his nose, almost to his eyes.
So it was up there.
And then Mr. Buju was trying to inquire, like, what is the reason behind this? Then I heard the public, the residents around saying, the eyewitnesses saying that that's not right in Dominican parlance. And I mean, in how we speak.
I know there are probably some cuss word. I don't need your remote and this and that and whatnot and what have you. So I'm sure that there were a few of those cuss words, you know, doing when you vex, you know, say things and whatnot. So I think there was a number of things. But if the public realized that what the police officers were not correct, the public themselves realize what they're doing is not correct and wrong. But police officers trying to suffocate, man. Well, how do you know easy boy?
That's not right. You should look at what they're doing to the guys, this and that. So he was like, he had his mask. And I heard another person saying, well, why don't you go what the real crime is? Like to tell persons about to load down their music and this type of discussion.
So that's probably why they came. Probably there was loud music in the place and the police officers had to descend like SSU. SSU to stop people from playing music. You know, that kind of reminds me of something. You know, like sometimes when you do have nothing to do and you're shaking, boy, I don't have nothing to do now. Or you have a suit. Kind of like the boy in Portsmouth. You have some suits. You know, and it's not to say you're going in a meeting or whatnot, but hey, you have to put on his suit, man, and go out in the public because he wants to use it. So I kind of get this sentiment right that way. They're not in war. It's not a war in the place. So, you know, you have suit there. Man, let's put that on, man. Let's go and do something in society. We bored, man. Let's go and try and dress up and try to, maybe that's some sort of intimidation tactic. It doesn't, well, maybe on the weak-minded people, dressing up as if you're in carnival, going to somehow make people feel intimidated because you just, that's funny. But I think that is probably why they do this thing, to try to intimidate people. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because there's no war inside there, or they're bored. They bored and want some sort of action, so they come and dress up. Or you can't stop music. It could be some other thing, but that, from my understanding of this is what I'm getting right there.
What's going on? And I can remember Buju saying, like, well, we're in public space. We just want to know why so, you know what I mean? Why so aggressive? This
makes sense. The police officer is supposed to de-escalate things. Should just say, hey, we are doing something of private matter. We cannot really get that. If more information comes, we'll let you guys know. You know, be amicable human beings. You are talking to another human being who's pretty much paying your salary. I think we kind of misunderstand what public servants are, you know. Public servants. Servants to the public. That's what you guys are. You are not there to protect yourself. You are there to protect us. This is why you go in the mountains and train for so long. Not for you to protect yourself. You're a ninja. You come down to protect the people. That's why I think they're lacking in training. They need to constantly remind them because maybe they forget how to do things properly.
Then the police officers proceeded to push me, flash light in my face and everything. And
push. That is assault. Take him to court. I wonder if you can sue the police department itself in Dominica. I know you can sue New York Police Department because they have to pay billions of dollars per you to people they have wronged. Billions or hundreds of millions or to billions of dollars per year. So I wonder if you can sue the police department. I understand the whole understanding that they say the Dominica Police Department or whoever is working for the state. And therefore it's not necessarily the police department, it's the state you have to go behind and those kind of things there. But I think there should be some way to target the police department. Because if you target the police department on what they do and the state doesn't have to pay, why should the citizens have to pay for the wrongs that the police do? There should be a way to be attacking the police department. I must ask a lawyer that question. Can they sue the police department? When I get that information, I'll bring it out to you guys.
And I remember clearly this guy saying, flash it in his eyes, flash it in his eyes. That's what the guy was saying.
You damage my retina. Sue the police, man. Sue the police. Matter of fact, if you put in thing in my eyes, I take it out my thing and put back in your eyes. If it's fight for retina, we playing. We fighting. We'll fight to burn each other retina. But yo, that is uncalled for. All this is uncalled for. All I hear is uncalled for things that is escalated by the police themselves.
Telling the police officer. And then Pyro was basically surrounded by the other officers. And then right next to me, while I had the camera, my phone recording, I saw a police officer out of nowhere, for no reason in my opinion, just hit Mr. Buju a right punch in his face.
So he just wanted to hit him. It is very clear he just wanted to hit him, he wanted to instigate a matter to try to have some reason to arrest him, it seems. That's why you have to understand how individuals work, brothers and sisters. I said the same thing. Understand how people work. You realize there are certain trends within the police department where they'll try to instigate matters to have you under problems. And this is why you have to know it for yourself. Anyways.
And I'd like to commend Mr. Buju for his level of restraint.
You hitting me, slapping my face for nothing I do. Or you strangling me, or you suffocating me, and then you just come in and hit me, thumping my face. Right there, they should reprimand that police. Because it's uncalled for. From what I'm hearing here, it's uncalled for.
Because his instant reaction...
And it's not to say I can say that is impossible. I have seen these kind of things from police officers. I will never forget when the police officer take a microphone and lash him on in his head.
Any other human being, instant reaction was to strike back. And then I saw he restrain himself to...
But sometimes all the police officers overdoing it, eh? Sometimes all you don't know who, and all you need on the community again. All you to understand, all you must be in the right, brothers and sisters. Be in the right, Magwesa. You can't try to instigate matters. You don't know who family is from overseas, who have deadly people in their family, and you do them wrong and people will start coming for you. You want to be in the right, you have a family, you must stop thinking of yourself and your pride and your ego. The reason why you are here is to protect the people and you're abusing the people, that is not right, my boy. You have a family and you have friends, take care, people come from overseas and come for you, eh? Guys, my camera just died here. I had to change the battery. Let's go.
And then I saw he restrain himself to hold back the punch. And
give a thumbs up for I think with Buju, he's talking about Buju holding back his punch. Give a thumbs up right there. And of course, give a thumbs up for Hassan I don't know how much thumbs up you can give, probably one. But hey, if you have not done so, if you want to give one for the other, give a thumbs up for Hassan for bringing out this information for us right there. And I heard that you guys were filming. Please, my goodness, guys, contact them if you know them and tell them to send that video for me, because we need to get this information out there to see how the police acts. I don't know if you guys are bringing them to the court or whatever for that matter, and you probably have to keep the video quiet and what and so forth. But if you guys are not doing that, send that video for me to put out to the public so the public can see it and see the mannerisms that they are conducting themselves. And also international communities will see it as well. They will definitely see it. So send the video for me, please. Just like how we got let me...
The officers and those around was like, yes, we're going to get him to react the way we want him to. And Buju was not at arrest.
I think I skipped.
The level of communication in our officers, the high ranking.
Guys, I think I skipped somewhere.
Then Buju was like, bro, but you didn't identify yourself.
Hold on, guys, I think I skipped somewhere.
Between Buju and the officers and Pyro and the officers, and not just myself but the residents, trying to separate persons from getting in that.
Pull it down.
Yeah, man, and the officers themselves. I remember Buju asking, why are you arresting him? Then apparently.
Guys, I think I skip ahead. Wait, I think I skip ahead because I clicked the thing by mistake.
The police officers proceeded to push me, flash light in my
Let's
face
continue
and everything. And I remember clearly this guy saying, flash it in his eyes, flash it in his eyes. That's what the guy was telling the police officer. And then Pyro was basically surrounded by the other officers. And then right next to me, while I had the camera, my phone recording, I saw a police officer out of nowhere for no reason, in my opinion, just hit Mr. Buju a right punch in his face. And I'd like to commend Mr. Buju for his level of restraint, because his instant reaction, like any other human being, instant reaction was to strike back. And then I saw he restrained himself to hold back the punch. And the officers and those around was like, yes, we're going to get him to react the way we want him to. And
give a thumbs up for them, guys. Give a thumbs up for them.
And I instantly jumped between the officer and Buju, and then I push the officer away, I push Buju away, I push Buju all the way to the front in the middle of the road, and then I was like, yo, it's on camera, it's on camera, it's on camera.
Guys, please, I begging you, send that video for me. If it's not going in court or whatnot, I think I should go to court, because that's an infringement on your right. 1, 2, abuse of power. 3, abuse of you. I think I think you should take that matter to court.
And then the other officers got more rowdy, and that's when they got even more aggressive, ready to fight and this and that.
And guys, I'm not saying, like I said before, I'm not saying all the police officers are terrible. That there are a lot of them who are terrible, and it's not like the other police officers. Because I remember when I was doing the Choxy matter, and I was talking to a number of the police officers there. Some of them actually watch my videos and whatnot, what have you. And I was talking to some of them there, and they know that police officers are doing wrong. They know. It's not like they don't know. They know. But they are not doing anything about it. And I'm like asking them, well, why don't you guys do something about it? Why don't you stop them from doing these things? I notice that is what is happening in the United States. When police officers see other police officers acting bad, they are stepping in. And if they don't step in, they are equally as responsible. Equally as responsible for whatever happened to the thing. I think it was as a result of what happened with George Floyd. They put in that new rule. You stop them from abusing the people. In Dominica, apparently that doesn't seem to be the case, because the police officers themselves know that there's abuse of power, and they're literally not doing so. But that makes you an accomplice as well. That makes you an accomplice, even if you don't agree with what the police officers are doing. That makes you an accomplice.
And I'm between Buju and the officers and Pyro and the officers, and not just myself but the residents, trying to separate persons from getting in that.
Pull it down.
Yeah, man, and the officers themselves. I remember Buju asking, why are you arresting him? Then apparently, from his response, he was like, he did not identify himself. So then Buju was like, bro, but you didn't identify yourself. So a lot of that happened last night.
I know a number of police officers, they don't like to identify themselves because they're afraid of people coming to sue them and then finding out their names. It is vital. You don't have, if they're trying, guys, sometimes you just have to listen to them. Just wait for them to call each other names. That's all you have to do, you know. Especially if you see you're in the custody, all you have to do is just wait for them to call each other names and take it down. And then give it to your lawyer and tell them this is this and this person, so and so person. That's all you have to do, especially because I noticed that they don't want to give their names. They don't want to incriminate themselves.
and you could hear the residents, the eyewitnesses were like the level of professionalism, the level of communication in our officers, the high-ranking officers are non-existent.
Yep.
In a situation whereby you come to speak to certain persons, the police officers from what I witnessed were more aggressive, were trying to
make something happen.
Whereas, and I, as a media person, I had to tell the one police officer, yo, I'm working part of the media. He's like, he ready to attack me, myself, for just...
Boy, send that for me, please. Please send the video for me, please.
Trying to, bring that level of peace. Then, so at that time, the police officers left with Pyro, which was not yet arrested. Then we went back to Pyro's residence. I got the cameras and stuff, and we're just trying to collect our thoughts. Buju's nose is busted open. He was trying to appeal to the officers, like, look at what the guy just did in front of everyone. And there's no...
You have a set of weaknesses right there. You have a set of weaknesses. Because sometimes the police just try to defend police in court and try to make up story that never existed. Can you imagine that? Police making up story that never existed just for them to save their own backside from what they do? Well, you have weaknesses, brethren. You have weaknesses.
What is this officer's name? What are you going to do about it? None of the officers even acknowledge his request or any of that. And the officers just... By
right, the police officers should give their names. What is the consequence of them not giving their names? I need to find that out.
Well, like trying to treat him like he did something wrong. So after that, in my mind, I was like, you know what, Hassan, I don't think that program... I think I should just go home. And then I spoke to Maggie. I'm like, yo, Maggie, keep me updated on what's going on. Around after 10 in the night, I got a message saying that, Buju was arrested.
So he was arrested afterwards. All this could have been avoided. All this could have been avoided. It seems like they're bored and they want some action. So, hey, look at opportunity for us to try to create something to arrest somebody. All this could have been avoided. That is against all the protocol. You're supposed to de-escalate. That is the police authority. The reason behind the whole police situation, especially when it comes down to civil matters. De-escalating the situation. What happened to jail cell emptying, man? Are you trying to get more people inside jail? That's what are you trying to do? I mean, come on, man. But I would urge you guys to sue the police department. Let me send a message. Let me send a message to a couple of them. I'll send it in a while. I just put that there for me to organize. Well, guys, what are your thoughts on the whole situation right there? Do you think, who do you think is right? Do you think Buju them is right for going up to them and asking them what is going on in the community? Or do you think that the police officers is right in the way that they reacted? I mean, I don't. Do you think so? I mean, some of you guys would. I just want to know what you guys think in the comment box below right there. But give this video a thumbs up for Hassan for bringing this information to us. And give this video a thumbs up for Buju holding back that kind of punch he would have given the police officers there. And thus not incriminating himself as a result of that. But there will come a time, brothers and sisters, if you see you keep doing people things. They say sometimes if you back up a rat too much, the only way the rat have to go is forward now. I think there's a test that they did with fire and digging and some kind of thing they did. And they say there's fire at the back of something. They even had that in I think one of the Saw movies where they had the rat in the pan and they hitting the pan at the other side. And the only way the rat had to go was forward, and therefore the rat will start scratching forward. Sometimes you put a dog in a corner and you back the dog up and the dog realizes it had nowhere to go. The only way the dog have to go is forward to try to protect itself. You back the people up too much. What do you think will happen? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. This is pretty much all I ask for this reaction right there. I just thought I'd put this information out there. Hopefully, Buju and Pyro get out. It's rather unfortunate that these individuals are trying to make things aware to the people in society what is going on behind closed doors, and some of the things that are actually taking place in the public sphere. They're trying to make sure this information goes out, and I think that is a good thing that they're doing. So continue doing your thing, regardless of the plight, man. Regardless of the plight, keep doing your thing, guys, and keep pursuing forward and forward and forward. But sometimes, guys, I just feel sometimes you just have to leave well alone, man. If the people don't want to learn for themselves, you just have to leave well alone. But then again, like Martin Luther King and all the others who stood forth and they stood firm they still decided to push forward. I'll never forget the words of Harriet Tubman. She said, I freed hundreds of slaves, and I could have freed thousands more if only they knew that they were slaves. Anyways, guys, this is pretty much what your boy asked for this year reaction video. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Police officers for 2022, become more responsible and stop your dirty ways.